So yes, once you find some songs that you want to download, you're going to want to put them into tracks. Okay. And so you can see here, I have this track that I renamed, an audio track called, I renamed it Deck A, and then a secondary track called Deck B. Now, the reason why I'm calling it Deck A and Deck B, because for those of you who are familiar in the DJ world, typically when you have a DJ setup, you have either two turntables or maybe two controllers with jog wheels or two CDJs with a mixer in between. So to give it more of or for it to make more sense as like a DJ setup, I recommending having at least two decks, and for each deck have on deck A have an X amount of songs, and then on deck B have an X amount of songs. So depending on how long your set is going to be, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. In this case, I set this up so it's only a 15-minute set. That's why you only see so many clips here, but you can see that you can keep adding clips after clips after clips. And what do I mean when I refer to clips? For those of you who might be new to Ableton, that these are the actual songs. Okay, so the songs, but when you're looking at the audio tracks here, you're actually looking at them as Ableton clips. Okay. So when you want to rename your tracks, when you first load songs in, okay, so if you hit Command T, you might be loading in an audio track, and ideally when I'm loading songs in, I might have an extra track loaded in, and I put all the songs in here. I arrange them by tempo and by key. If you can harmonically match your songs, it's recommended. Unfortunately, Ableton does not have a key detection device unless you're looking into some Max for Live audio effects. But ideally, you would use maybe something like Mixing Key, which is a third-party software that actually will give you not only the tempo, but will give you the key based off a system called the Camelot wheel. And for those of you who are wondering about Mixing Key, actually, if you do sign up for a DJing course here at Garnish or an Ableton course, DJing or Ableton, we have a partnership with Mixing Key, and we can honor educational discounts. So just food for thought there. But as I load these tracks in, you'll see that I have them these tracks renamed, and I hit Command R and I named this one Deck A, and then I Command R in this one and renamed it Deck B. Okay, so once I get my tracks loaded in, I like to rename them with the tempo, which you can see here, and then with the Camelot system, this track is 11A. So in Mixing Key, you have tracks that's based in a numeric value from 1 to 12, and each number represents a actual key that your song might be in. So when I'm talking about key, I mean songs that are harmonically pleasing. So for example, I know that this song that's called Revival is in the key of E minor, and this track called Grace is also in the key of E minor. So harmonically, these tracks will work well together, regardless of the tempo. The tempos, I try to find tempos that are roughly within 10 beats per minute apart, because once you start to stretch past that, if you're trying to do a true DJ set in the sense that you're not trying to modulate or change the audio files too much, you want to keep them somewhere around the ballpark of the original tempo. I'd say no more or less than 10 beats per minute apart. But because these tracks are very close in tempo, they are also close in key, and that's why I intentionally group these two songs together so they harmonically match each other and don't sound too dissonant. So the cool thing about using Mixing Key and having tracks that maybe they're not necessarily in the same key, but they are at least the dominant or subdominant, meaning that they are closely related in key, so they should work together. That's why I start this track called Cream that blended earlier into Grace, which is in 9A. So from 11A to 9A is a jump. It's only one step of a jump, but it works well. Okay. So once you get your tracks loaded in, try to find the songs that are roughly around the same tempo, and then try to find songs that are roughly around the same key if you have that opportunity. Worst case, you might want to test your set to make sure the songs sound good together before. If you don't have something like Mixing Key, you can use your ears, the old school way, to hear if something is harmonically pleasing or not.